DeSantis, though, I think it's new. Just foreign policy is new territory to him, so he's trying to feel out where to position himself.
Welcome to the Debrief, where we talk to the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story's going next. I'm Jim Antle. I'm joined today by senior political columnist Tim Carney. Tim, Ron DeSantis has kind of opened Pandoras Box when it comes to the war in Ukraine. He's getting a level of pushback that I think he hasn't really seen yet in his sort of presidential candidacy, maybe candidacy.
That's right. I think his lawyers are probably trying to figure out how to make sure that nobody calls him a presidential candidate yet, because he's being sued by Trump. But no, this is a tough issue because I think DeSantis has started to realize that where the party leadership is, which has always been more interventionist, more internationalist broadly, is not where the heart of the Republican electorate is. I think Donald Trump figured that out. Even Ted Cruz figured that out earlier in the 2016 cycle. And so DeSantis, though, I think it's new. Just foreign policy is new territory to him, so he's trying to feel out where to position himself. And his first big statement on Ukraine, coming to Tucker Carlson, of course, casts it in a very anti-interventionist light. And the blowback he's gotten from people like Lindsey Graham from the mainstream media, which is also more internationalist, and then from some very hawkish voices in his party, is really the first time that he's gotten kind of in-house resistance during this quasi-run.
And it's an interesting dynamic because he's viewed by a lot of people as the alternative to Trump. He's the candidate by which the party could potentially move on from Trump. Is there some risk, though, by more or less aligning himself with Trump on this issue, he sort of feeds into Trump's critique that he's just a Trump imitator, a Trump impersonator?
Well, he certainly, his record was a bit of a mystery on foreign policy, but he did, when he would criticize Obama during the Obama years, he would criticize Obama for being too much of a dove, which was the standard Republican attack. Even when Obama was going into Libya and this war without authorization, the Republican attack was sort of, why are you leading from behind? And DeSantis was more sounding that attack, which was kind of the knee-jerk Republican criticism. So there is that idea that did he switch because he saw where the electorate was, and Trump could attack him on that. I personally think politicians trying to figure out what their voters believe in is a good thing, but on the other hand, if it's just trying to be Trump but not 100% narcissistic, that could be limited. On the other hand, I think there's a lot of voters out there who exactly what they want is Trump, just not 100% narcissistic.
Right. But it kind of opens up what could end up being the dynamic of the campaign should he get in that Trump is going to say that Ron DeSantis is this Trojan horse that looks a little bit like me, but when you get him in there, Jeb Bush and Paul Ryan and Bill Kristol and everybody are going to come jumping out and are going to take the party back over, right? And then you have Nikki Haley and maybe Mike Pompeo, should he get in, former Vice President Mike Pence, should he get in, and he does appear to be considering it very strongly, saying, this guy is really not that different from Trump.
But I also think it's a perfect place to be for DeSantis. His main skill is doing stuff that makes sense and then getting attacked for it. The quintessential thing was during the vaccine rollout, where he got attacked for prioritizing the elderly in getting the COVID vaccine. He did the right thing and he got attacked for it. So again, if he's on stage being attacked by Nikki Haley and Pompeo and John Bolton and Mike Pence for not having the U.S. risk war with Russia, then that's exactly a DeSantis, perfect coup of taking a smarter position that more people align with and still nevertheless getting attacked. And we've seen the news media, we've seen liberal media, mainstream media, and some conservative media go after DeSantis for not being pro-Ukraine enough. And there are good critiques in there, especially because he's shifting, but I think they're all trying to find out where the heart of the Republican electorate is.
Is his position ultimately really that different from President Biden's?
No, I mean, President Biden, I think, learned from Trump. President Biden's a lot less interventionist and a lot less hawkish as a president than he was as a senator, and then the Obama administration in which he served was. So I see, if they're trying to get closer to Biden and reduce that distance, my guess is that that's politically smart, but that's one of the things we'll find out.
Thank you, Tim. You can read Tim and the rest of our commentary team's coverage at washingtonexaminer.com.